live.
Wow. We
Live.
went right to it this time. Hey, welcome back to Reborn. Hey, our fearless leader is not here tonight because he was afraid of his wife. I think it's his anniversary. He was married this day in 2014.
You remember?
I remember.
You were there.
2014.
Yeah.
I was there. Yeah, I was there. Yeah, I remember that. It was up there off of camp. I think it was off of Campus Drive. They had like a church event center thing there.
Hall. Mm-hmm.
And with stained glass. Oh man, it's a pretty nice little place there. And I remember that because they had a wedding planner. They did their wedding planning for her. So she was blocking and tackling for me. It's like, so, oh, you stand here and then you go there and you do this. And I ain't gonna remember any of that. But yep. So happy anniversary.
Happy
What
anniversary.
is that? 11 years. 11 years they've been married today.
And a lifetime to go.
And a lifetime to go. That's right. That's right. 2 kids and they have another 6 or 7. And
At least.
now if Christy heard that, she's
Yeah.
like, no.
She's already cringing.
Listen. We can hear it.
We heard the scream.
Anyway, so how was everybody's day today?
Good.
How was your day? That's it? Good.
Yeah, it was good. It was a lot of taking care of Cinnamon.
Tell them who Cinnamon is.
Cinnamon's my new dog.
Yeah.
He's my puppy. He's
We've
7 months
we've
old now.
converted her for the most part. She's realized that dogs are actually pets. She has like 37 cats
No,
that she takes care of. Oh, it's like taking care of a whole bunch of homeless people, isn't it? No offense to them, but they come and then they go, and then they come and they go. But anyway, I'll get canceled for that one, I'm pretty sure. So, and how was your day? You had a day off
That was
today.
good. Yeah, I had a day off from my work, but I'm always working, doing stuff. So doing groceries,
And
cleaning house, holiday stuff. Yeah, I'm getting ready to get Christmas out. I'm so excited. Like I said, Thanksgiving out in the front yard, outside, Christmas inside.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Yeah. Ours is 4th of July outside and 4th of July inside.
Oh,
It's nothing. or the 12th of June. How's that? We don't do anything for that. No, Laura used to put a tree up and then she'd get it up and then somebody back here would knock it down.
Mm-hmm.
And then Charlie can't do it with the lights because when the lights are flickering, he goes nuts.
it goes crazy.
So he's moving all over the place. So we don't do a tree. She used to put it up there in the loft, put it up there, and then she'd put the presents up there. So because he will tear a box up as well. I'm talking about Blue down here on the floor.
Yeah, they're probably like, who are you pointing
Yeah, who are
at?
you pointing at? He's the devil. He's pointing to down. But we got a subject. He gave us a subject for tonight. And now, I never thought of this, but today is his anniversary. He's out tonight. And what did he pick tonight for the topic?
Forgiveness.
Huh. I'm wondering if he's got some explaining to do or something. I don't know. But you know what? Of
That's
all the
what came to
things-
mind for
yeah,
him.
Yeah. Well, it's my wedding anniversary. Forgiveness. Let's talk about forgiveness.
We know who he wants to watch this.
You're going to put it on repeat.
Yeah, put it on loop. Yeah. So, well, just listen to what they have to say. I wonder what they're saying. That's why he didn't want to be here tonight, too. So that way he couldn't get blamed for anything.
Right.
You
Well,
can't slip up with this.
He can say he didn't know.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
Yeah, I didn't know what I get. Was that tonight? I can't believe it was tonight. But we are talking about forgiveness. Of all the things that we, when we have questions or when people are dealing with difficulties in their spiritual walk, this is number one. There's 2. I think the 2 top ones is why, if God has got to love, why is there so much evil in the world? But that's number 2, and maybe a distant 2. Their number 1 is forgiveness. How do I forgive? Or do I have to forgive? Or, is there exclusions to forgiving? Have you ever had a problem with forgiving? Mm-hmm. I knew it. Because we all do. You want to share it without giving any names?
No.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay.
I've already forgiven them. But
And I'm sure you've never had anybody.
No, I've never had to forgive.
I know who you're married to, so.
I have to forgive all the time. Yeah. So, of course, I've had to forgive. And it's not easy. It's not easy at all.
He said if it was easy to forgive, you probably wouldn't be hurt by it in the first place, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but I think we have a verse. Do you have it that you can read? Matthew 18
Yeah.
talks about forgiveness.
I'm not sure why
Let's
I
see
was
that
in
verse.
Galatians, but okay.
Oh,
Matthew 18. Which one?
which one was
What was
11 and
it?
12? I think
13.
No, it was 21 and 22.
21 and 22.
Oh, my
Actually,
bad.
goes long. It goes farther than that. So I think Saint Peter was
Okay.
Peter was asking him a question, right?
Right.
Yep.
Peter came to him, and it says in 21, Matthew 18:21 says, "Then came Peter to him and said, Lord, how oft shall my brother sin against me, and I forgive him? Till 7 times?" He's in a question, right? And
Yeah.
22 says, Jesus said unto him, I say not unto thee until 7 times, but until 70 times 7. What is 70 times 7? My goodness. So
490 times.
that's a lot. Right. It's a
and
lot.
that's per day.
Yeah, okay. So I was about to say, so is that in a lifetime? Because I should have kept tally.
Yeah.
How many
Yeah.
times that's not per person?
Yeah, per person.
Per person.
Per person, per day.
Per day.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, but it's per day.
yeah. But Peter was doing that because he thought, he said 7 times because he's thinking perfection, the number of perfection. And
Right. He just
knew
wanted
that
to up one, be like,
he was trying to up it from the Pharisees,
yeah,
the religious
say,
leaders that said
I'm even
forgive 3
better
times.
than that.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
So, I mean, I doubled it, right? 3 to
Right,
7
surely.
plus 1.
Yeah.
and-
Surely that's enough.
Yep. And it sure, and then Jesus, don't you know, you see the look on Peter's face when he goes, no, 7 times 70 every day.
Yeah.
And can you see the look on his face like, oh my gosh, how can I forgive 7 times 70 every day?
Yeah.
I think the answer is you can't, so get over it, right?
Right.
I mean, think about it. If you're forgiven all the time, at some point, what, 430 or 444, you just kind of go, okay, that's what they're going to do, you know?
Yeah. Right.
And so it's able to forgive. But he said that, I believe, because he wanted, I think Peter needed to understand how much forgiving has to go on every day anyway, right? It's hard to forgive somebody. And then I think he gave a parable after that, or story parable after that, talking about 2 men that owed the king money. Is that
Right. Yeah. One was owed. Well, he had what 10,000 talents that he owed.
Yeah,
I don't know what is a
a
talent.
gazillion dollars.
It's a gazillion dollars.
It's a-
Probably was.
It's more than he could ever pay back in
Yeah.
his life. The question is, how do you ever get that far in debt?
Right? How?
He must
Well,
have a gambling problem. Probably
people-
betting on the Cowboys.
Yeah. How do you get that far in debt? But yeah, is it something that he would have ever been able to repay? Never.
Yeah, that was the
never.
point of the amount.
Right.
It was a number that could not be, he could not pay it back in lifetimes. He couldn't have paid it back.
Mm-hmm.
And so he heard, okay, so I'm gonna take your wife and take your kids, and we're gonna sell you into indentured servitude until you could pay it back, which meant they would be slaves for life, right? And then he goes and note, say what he said there, because that he said this.
For as much as he had not to pay, his Lord commanded him to be sold, and his wife and his children, and all that he had in payment to be made.
Mm-hmm.
The servant therefore fell down and worshipped him, saying, Lord, have patience with me. I will pay thee all.
Yeah.
So,
That was never going to happen.
yeah.
And I think what the king did is the king just goes, it's you can't pay it back. You can't pay it back, so just go. So he just forgave the debt because it was
Yeah.
never going to get paid back. And then what happened? You guys probably know this as
The
well.
servant went out and found one of his fellow servants, which owed him 100 pence, only 100 pence. And he said, and he laid hands on him and took him by the throat, saying, pay me that thou owest.
Yeah.
So he only owed him 100. This guy had just been forgiven of 10,000.
Yeah.
That's something he would never be able to repay. And he's all like, oh, all right, you owe me. So now I'm coming back for you. His fellow servantman fell down at his feet and besought him, saying, have patience with me. I will pay thee all.
And he can pay it back. He could pay it back.
Right. That was an amount that could be payable, that he could possibly pay it back, right? And he would not, but went and cast him into prison till he should pay the debt. So when his fellow servants saw that he was done, they were very sorry and came and told them their Lord all that was done. And then his Lord, after all that, had called him, said unto him, O thou wicked servant, I forgave thee all that debt because thou desirest me. Shouldn't not thou have all had compassion on thy fellow servant, even as I had pity on thee?
And then what do you do?
Yeah.
He
And the
threw him
Lord
in.
was wroth and delivered him to the tormentors till he should pay all that he was due unto him.
At that point, it didn't sound like he took his wife and his family. It just took him to do that. But he said he took him until he could pay back everything, which means
Never.
he's still trying to pay it back right now. Never
Yeah.
could pay it
It's not
back.
something you can pay back, right?
Yeah, it's impossible to do. But, you know, some people have, let's say you have rent. Your rent per month is, I don't know, $1,000 a month?
That's
Is that
cheap.
low?
Yeah,
Okay,
that's cheap.
$2,000
Sure.
a month. Let's say $2,000 a month your rent or your house payment. And someone came and said, "I'm going to pay your house off," like those tunnels to towers. It's a pretty good deal that they do this for vets, and they pay that off completely. They paid your every month. You would have to pay $2,000, right? And then that debt is gone. That extra money is there, and your next door neighbor owes you $200, and you get onto him and say, there's no grace on your part to go, someone just gave me that money so that I have an extra $2,000 a month. Keep your $200, right? That's the just keep it. And I think what he's trying to get us to see is, what debt have we been forgiven? And this is hard. I know this is hard. What debt have we been forgiven by God that we can't forgive somebody else, right? And I think you see the magnitude of the forgiveness that we needed from God. If we hadn't got it, would be eternal damnation. And he forgave us that. Now, there's no eternal damnation at stake when we forgive somebody else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we forget? You see, have you ever looked back on someone that you were mad at, and one of these things happened? Either you got mad at them for something, and you found out that either A, they never did what you thought they had done, or the longer you thought about it, the more, like, they stole your boyfriend or they stole your girlfriend, and you see them, they are married to him now, and you see he's got a big bear belly and hair falling out and
bald head.
and
Dodgeable with that one.
and you go, thank you, Jesus, right? Yeah, right. So but you look at it and you go, maybe
you're
maybe
able
that
to-
wasn't a bad deal.
You're able to look at it differently, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's happened.
Yeah. Yep. What about you? Have you ever, not any marriage things, but
No.
So,
you look at something and you go, man, I'm glad I just gave up on that.
Almost definitely. With old friendships or whatever it may be, I was like, man, I don't understand why we can't be friends anymore. Then I look back and like, thank God we're not friends anymore.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, oh my gosh, I was talking to my mom about it yesterday, and we were talking, I was like, made me realize, because I had seen something for one of my old friends, and I was like, it's crazy. I never understood why we couldn't be close, and why. And I was like, God, why can't we be close? I just want to be close with them. And then now that I see how they are, I'm like, oh, that's why. You don't see the big picture in these little moments, and you're like, man, I really don't understand why you're letting this happen. And then once you actually get there, it's like, oh, well, I'm glad that didn't happen.
sure.
Yeah. Yep.
I do thank God for unanswered prayers.
Mhm.
Or no, they were answered. Prayer was
The-
answered. The thing was, it was
No.
answered, not what I wanted.
God, why
Yeah.
won't you let me have this? Because
Yeah.
I'm trying to help you dodge a bullet. So the bad thing doesn't happen. Oh yeah.
For sure.
Yep.
Yep.
There's things that even in my corporate life and people were pushing me in a direction to maybe buy something or invest in something, and it's like, just doesn't sound right. And then you find out later on, you go, man, I'm sure glad
Thank
that
goodness.
Are you getting? Are we getting fan mail? Is that me? It can't be me. It's not me.
No,
It's Kaya.
Oh, it's.
It's just
Is it,
Kaya.
is it me? No, it's Kai.
no, I'm just answering.
Okay.
You'll see it later.
Oh, okay.
But,
Tell him quit messaging.
so imagine now the people that we have a hard time forgiving. And Jesus is asking us, and I think Ephesians 4 does this as well. It says, put yourself in the place of Christ, right? Forgive one another as Christ forgave you, right?
Well, that's the moment that I don't want to put myself as Christ, right? I'm not
Yeah.
Christ. I can't be like that.
Yeah.
and I don't want to be because it's hard. So then we like you kind of like disassociate yourself, like, oh, that's okay for them, or you should forgive, but
Not
I
me.
can't. I'm not going to forgive, but no, because you know what they did to me
Yeah.
or what happened.
This was
you know?
just too much. This was
Mhm.
over the line. It's non-forgivable. So
Yeah.
what is non-forgivable? Remember when Christ, they were asking him about the unpardonable sin, or he was talking about it. It was in relationship to the only unpardonable sin is. It really makes a lot of sense. Is the one where the Holy Spirit calls you to salvation and you refuse it.
Mm-hmm.
That's that you can't be pardoned if you refuse the free gift of salvation. And that's where I think people forget. And even people that you look at and go, kind of had a little house on the prairie life, right? Not, never really did anything wrong or did anything bad per se as far as people would be concerned. You go, what have they done to us? What have they ever done to somebody else when someone does something cruel to them? But we got to realize that it's still a matter of we're sinners, and we have sinned against God, and that sin that might be the other thing, Cammie, is that when we're unable to forgive other people, it's because we don't understand the magnitude of our own sin. That makes
Mm-hmm.
how bad is it? It's like old Johnny Carson bit, right? How bad was it? It's bad enough that I could go to hell for it, right? So
Yeah, but I know it's true, but so many times, something that we've talked about before in class is that we have severity of of our sins. We feel like this is not so bad. This one is. You can forgive this one, but not this one. I mean, if that happened,
right.
we put those, we put it on a scale, but God doesn't. If I did this sin versus this one, it's all the same to God. But yeah, we will put, hey, that one's not so bad. You're all right. I mean, it's because it's not as bad as this. I didn't kill anybody, physically kill anybody, but I can kill somebody with my words for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, all I did was tell a small white lie. What do they call a white lie? Like, oh, it's nothing. Yeah, it is. It's still bad, And so we put those things on it. So it's like, so obviously the things that are harder to forgive are these bigger things. It's not the little ones. Don't forget those. It's the big things but it was this. It wasn't that.
Yeah.
We've been like you said, I've been forgiven, and I put Christ on the cross for the one. If it were just the one thing that I did, that I consider small, which to him is not. Though it's like it's hard for us to understand in our mind that, yeah, this is just as bad as this one, and it makes no difference to him, But why do we do that? Or is it just me? Am I the only one that does that? I
No.
put
I
severity
think we
into
all
all of
do
that.
I think we all do it. I think we do it where we, because when you talk to people that really want to debate that. I mean, come on. I mean, God's pretty, sensitive. He's kind of a Karen, right? If he's having an issue with Adam and Eve just because they ate the fruit.
Yeah, what's the big deal? It's just
What's
a fruit.
the big deal?
It was, yeah.
But that's what they see is they just disobeyed and ate fruit ate something we weren't supposed to. That seems to be pretty minor, but they don't realize what they really did.
Mm-hmm.
They said we're not going to obey God. We will be God. We will be God. So What's the first commandment? Right? Have no other gods before thee, right? Or second commandment. You have no other gods. And what do you do when you break that command? When you break that command, you're telling God, but we don't see this, but we're telling God, you're not God. You're not in charge. I am.
Mm-hmm.
So all of a sudden, that little, they just ate the fruit. No, they said, God, we don't care what you say. We're in charge. We're the boss. And they broke the commandment by doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so, but do we see that when people have, you see it everybody sees, everybody, if you go to church and you're a regular church, you see this all the time, where you see people that will just hear something and know something they're supposed to do, and they absolutely don't care. They're not going to do it, right? Whether it's tithing or being faithful in church, or maybe they're supposed to be in a teacher or something, be in some ministry, and they just won't do it because they have something else that they put in front of God and His command, and and they go, oh, it's not that big a deal. It's like, you just said, God, I'm not going to do your will. If it's not thy will be done, then God says, okay, let your will be done. That's not a good thing when it's our will be done. So that's
for sure where we're at in the world, right? We see that daily.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's what's the terms that they use? Living my best life, and yes, I am God.
Yeah.
Like what can, look what I've done. Look, I mean, just making yourself what they consider happy or whatever. I don't know, but worldly wise,
Right.
So
well,
it's
like, their excuse, and we've heard this too. God just wants me to be happy.
Yeah.
Right? God just wants me to be happy, and so.
Where does it say that?
Yeah, where does it say that at?
Oh.
He wants me to be holy, but he never says where he wants me to. He wants me to be happy here. He wants me to be happy there with him, right? Mm-hmm. My ultimate joy is in his presence, not here apart from him. So, yeah, we lose that perspective. We grab a hold of the wrong thing and hold on to the wrong thing in our life, and we think, well, that's God understands. And when people ever say that to me, I always want to go, remember, you're talking about Jesus. You're saying Jesus understands this sin that you can easily not do. He understands when he had to go die on a cross because you're going to do that. Mm-hmm. Like what you were saying, right? Mm-hmm. I put him on the cross. And if you imagine if every time we did that God would make us have to see Christ. There was a picture that I found on the internet that I used for one of my final slides a few weeks ago, and it's brownish and red and tan, and it's Christ on the cross. It's kind of and it looked horrible. I mean, it was a good picture, but I think it was a good picture because it just depicted, because the lines would go through his face, and it would be tan and then darker, and it's just, and it was all earth tone colors, and it's made it ugly, made it ugly, and it go, that's maybe the closest picture that I've ever seen of that. But imagine if every time we do that, once we commit that sin, God go and make
flushes that,
not that picture, but the real picture. Mm-hmm. Here's what he's did. That moan that he made was because of what you did. We think of it that way, would we?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. That would be difficult to see every time we were reminded that way, but we choose not to see that.
Sure. But if we saw it, we would probably not start to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think for sure. But we forget. I know I forget many times. I'm like, like I said, it's like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. Or I'll forgive him later when I get over it. I'm like, you know what? I'm not, because sometimes, I'll be honest, the situations that, like, I was angry at something, a situation, and it's true. And I talked to him about it afterwards. I'm like, why is it that I was like, okay, I'm angry. I felt like eventually I'm going to forgive, because for the most part, I think I I can forgive for the most part. I haven't had anything really quite traumatic as some people have maybe in their lives, but still some things I need to forgive and whatnot. But anyway, it's like I just wanted to be angry. I needed to be angry for a while. Why? I don't know why I felt that. Why I felt like I just needed to feel like yeah, I'll forgive you, but not right now. I'm gonna do it later. I feel like I needed to do it. I know I needed to do it, but I can't do it right now, and I wasn't even willing. I said I want to be angry. Well, what kind of thought is that? Where did that come from? Why did I feel like I needed to be angry? And then once I kind of got over all that and thought about it, prayed and did all the things I felt like I needed to internally, it's like why. I still don't know there's not like an answer to that. Oh, well, this was why. I mean, I don't know the answer even still, but just going through it. And then finally I felt like God then was able to then really use me to say, okay, now I can. Mm-hmm. And I did. But why couldn't I just do that, from the get-go? Why did I feel like I had to be angry and go through all that? And the process of going through that kept me angry, thinking about it more, and going over and over the same situation when I could have just been like, I'm done, and let's move on. Because forgiveness is not for that other person. I mean, I know that now. I don't guess I really knew that maybe early on. And my relationship with Christ has grown, right? So I've learned different things. But I don't think I knew that in the beginning. For me, I thought if I forgive them, that means I was okay with what they did. Right. If I forgive them, it's because they win. Like if I forgive them, it's those thoughts that I felt like I guess I had to get through. Right. But it's a kind of like a practice. I mean, you have to go through it and go through it over because it's not easy to do. And God tells us what should we be doing? Kaya, what do we do every day? If we did this every day, how could we live better? What are we doing? What is the commandment that we do?
Oh, she wouldn't listen.
She wasn't listening in class. Well, she answered it the other day. What is the one thing that we should do? Was
it the one that we talked about on Wednesday? Oh, we put on the armor of God.
That's what he equips us with, right? Okay. We can use that. But what are we supposed to do?
Oh, we're supposed to do everything in love. That's what it was.
Oh, all right. We're supposed to do everything.
Where was that spot at?
Yeah.
On the spot.
She got it because I did this. I don't even know how to do it.
Oh, that was good. That's good.
Like, I don't even know how to do it. Okay, so mine looks more like a pumpkin. I don't know. Or apple. But it's true. If we truly loved, and he says we should do this, right, with our mind, everything. Mind, heart, soul, body, everything. If we do that, then these other things become easier. Mm-hmm. But man, it's hard to love. Mm-hmm. And so then it's hard to forgive. And so, I think that was something that I've worked through for many times. I mean, it's not something that comes easy still, but I understand it better.
You think you talk about I need to be mad for a while, and you think that's processing time?
Sure, yeah. I think it's processing time, but it's just kind of thinking back, like, thinking back, like, why couldn't I just done it? And because it wasn't a big deal, maybe. Yeah. But then, in the moment, you think like, it's such a big deal. And Kaya mentioned something even before we started our podcast that is so true, is that I'll forgive you, and okay, I can do it now. We're forgiven. You're forgiven. Done. I'm gonna move on. And then you go do something else that I got to forgive you again. I'm like, what? Like I get angry again. Something else will come back up, or the thought of what past I forgave comes up. So then that's compounded with the one that just happened and so forth. And so we just get more and more problems or thoughts of the same person or same situation. And then it's hard to. I'm like, I got to do it again. But as we read, right?
I just did it all over again. So,
we're supposed to 70 times 7. Man. Yeah.
So what I'm hearing is we want to, Kaya, give us about 30 seconds of a moment of silence, and let's pray for Vincent.
Yeah.
Oh, and Josiah.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Always keep us in prayer. But yeah, that was like.
After you've forgiven for a while, I mean, after you've done it, and it's hard, you're right. It's absolutely hard to do, right?
Yeah.
And some people think, well, if I forgave them, then why do those thoughts come back again? So it's because you're human. And you think, and it's someone else does something like that, and then you go, now I'm mad at that person and that person. And they did it. Oh, yeah, okay, I forgive you and I forgive you. And they did, someone else does it. You go, no, okay, now I'm mad at you, you, and you. And it just keeps on. But I think it also puts us in that position over time where forgiving becomes easier, not easy, but easier, because you see the lack of value in not forgiving. There's no value in not forgiving. I mean, you can consume your time and your heart and the time you should be spending doing something productive. There's nothing productive about vengeance, right? About, well, I'm going to get them back. I'm going to, I'll show them, or I'll do this, or whatever. And
definitely not productive, but I thought about
sometimes
it.
it makes you feel good.
Makes you feel good in the moment. Everything good for a season.
Yeah, I feel like it's because the reason, I feel like one of the reasons why we might hold on to it is because we have a want for justice. We want them to get punished for what they did to us. Not like necessarily be like taken out, because we don't necessarily want them to
go ahead and make my day.
But like we want them to be punished for what they did to us. We have that want and need for justice. That's why we hold on to it. That's why we have that anger, because I feel like we feel that by having that anger, that like, oh, they're gonna get their punishment, I'm not gonna forgive them. I feel like that's what it is. It's more of like our need for justice.
Yeah, where does that come from? Through millennial of evolutionary process within man, or is it something that's innate because God put it in us? I think I gave you the answer to that.
I think
people say it's an evolutionary. It's just an evolutionary thing, that justice doesn't make sense if there's no God. Why do I care about justice? And because if I wanted it, and I think you're right on, I think you're dead on, we want to see them get what they deserve, but not us.
Yeah.
I was about to say, yeah. I want them to get what they deserve, but not me. But also, even further than that, I want them to get what they deserve, what I think they deserve.
Yeah.
Right,
okay, because this is my justice. Although I know that I'm not going to get that. We should leave all that to God. God's going to take care of all that. But I'm still like, no, I want this to happen. I want it to be my justice. Right. Once again, I want to be God. I want to do it.
So we step into that it's just a piece of fruit. It's like, no, it wasn't. It was you wanting to be God. And we look at it as a little thing, or that's not that big, but we, like you're saying, when I'm thinking through the vengeance part of it, I'm taking God's role. He said, you're not the judge, I'm the judge.
Right.
Right? And I think there's a couple things that tie into that, what you're saying, Cammie, is one is we, based on what we just said about, we think it's just eating the fruit, and it's much deeper than that. Well, we may, in our want for justice, may think it's something small. It hurts, but it's something small, and God goes, no, it's much bigger than that. Right? Or we think it's big, and God goes, it's really not that big a deal, right? In those cases. But I think when we forgive, and this is something that should scare those that we are forgiving, is that we're going, I'm taking the debt you owe me, and I'm giving it to God. And so God now has that debt. Right? He has the debt to pay. It's like taking your debt and saying, well, the guy's not going to pay me. I'll just give it over to the mafia.
Let them take
let
care
the mob
of it.
take care of it. And you go, oh, no, I'll pay it. But I think that's, and by doing that, we might write, they owe me, $1 trillion. And we give it to God, and God goes, they don't owe you anything because they didn't do anything, right? Or they don't owe you. They didn't hurt you, they hurt me. Remember when Paul met Jesus on the road to Damascus, Jesus didn't say, why are you persecuting me? I bet Paul wasn't thinking he was persecuting God.
Oh.
Right? He thought he was persecuting these people that were saying that Jesus was the Christ.
Right.
He thought he was doing something good, and he said that. Yeah, and it's like, no, you're not.
Yeah, like you said, we think of it as not being such a big deal, but the big picture is way greater than
Yeah.
we can see.
It's always, and Paul made this statement too, where he goes, I don't judge you because I can't even judge myself, because I have no idea the impact my actions, the blast zones, have and will have even after I'm gone. I think that's why the judgment doesn't come for us until that rapture, because we don't know the impact. Right? Well, they died. They're, so and so. They died back in 1964 or whatever. You go. So his judgment's done. No, it's not. He's got that judgment of every impact that he's had,
even after
that's
long gone.
That's sobering, right? Think, oh boy, it's not just. I think about this in my junior high and high school days, and some of the people that I used to just absolutely just made fun of them to no, just mercilessly.
You made fun of them?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
She knows. Because I make fun of her. She don't always get it, but I make fun of her.
I'm like,
yeah, you can't believe that. I can believe that. That's part of our. That's inherent. I inherited that. But
family tradition.
But then I think back. Yeah. I mean, you talk. You've listened to conversations.
Yeah.
I try to not name any names, right?
Yeah.
But
Go ahead.
I forget my train of thought.
See, you just did that to
I messed
yourself.
myself
Yeah.
up. But
See what you get.
and so imagine now that God, when we give God that judgment, we avoid the potential for sinning more by doing something to somebody that wasn't guilty. Right? So I think that's where I was going before you distracted me. I think that's where I was going.
Sure, that's where you're going.
My train of thought leaves the station quite often without me on it. So, oh man. And the Ephesians verse there, I think it's important because it puts us in our place, I guess, for lack of a better word. It puts us in our place, right?
Yeah. 4:31 and 32.
Oh, yeah, let me read it here. Ephesians 4:31, 32. Let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and evil speaking be put away from you with all malice.
Did you say bitterness?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Bitterness. And be ye kind one
Did you
to
say
another.
wrath too?
Even wrath.
I'm gonna get hit before this is over.
Tender-hearted, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, even as God, for Christ's sake, hath forgiven you. Well, that's the part I leave out.
Yeah.
That he forgave me, but like, I didn't do
think
anything.
That part's important.
But like, it's not. Yeah,
I didn't that much. I only ate a piece of fruit.
It wasn't me. It was y'all.
Yeah.
Y'all did it.
But do you know what they did to me?
Oh,
I
yeah.
have my reasons.
Right.
Yeah.
That's exactly what we do,
And
right?
it's funny too because God has His reasons to throw us in the lake of fire,
Yeah.
I mean,
but He forgoes that. Thank you.
Yeah, thank goodness. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like she's. Well, yeah, that's tough. And like I said, with my walk through the years, since I've been saved, of course, I've gotten better at the forgiving and better at understanding and adding that part in there as Christ has forgiven me, because I would leave that off, be like, oh, well, I didn't do anything that bad. Yeah, it's not that bad. It's not that big of a deal. But do you know what they did? But did you hear what they said? Did you, So it's always, point the blame somewhere else, of course, because I didn't want to take responsibility. Yeah, that's very, very sobering when you think about it, because I'm like, oh, dang, I said, don't say that.
This is one of those subjects that you talk about that no matter how clear you try to make it, someone always has, but what about?
Yeah.
And so I don't know how many people we got out on the watching this right now, but if you have questions or you have comments about it, please send it in while we're talking. We got just about Looks like about 5 or 10 more minutes before we wrap it up. 5, 6 more minutes before we wrap it up. So if you do have questions, please send them in, and we'll try to answer them, or we'll at least we'll struggle with it like you are, maybe on those. But we never think about the part where God forgives us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
conveniently leave that off, you know,
Yeah.
because I'm just like, because if we think about it, then it will convict you to say, okay, well, maybe I should forgive, or maybe I should not say that, or you know, be easier to let go. But
yeah, I know an important piece of this that we've neglected to mention, and that's this: forgiveness does not mean reconciliation. Just because you forgive someone else for what they've done doesn't mean you reconcile with them. I've always, whenever I've preached or taught this, it's that the forgiveness is a one-way street. It's all up to you. Reconciliation is a two-way street. I know I've talked normally with wives that have left their husbands because of abuse and it's been abuse in some of the cases. I'll use that as an example. And they leave and they go, we say, well, you need to forgive them. We go, you want you to just go back and start getting beat up again? I never said that. I didn't say go back. I said forgive them. And why? Because you want to turn it over to God. Turn it over to Him. He's getting nervous because we're talking about marriage. That's what he's so you forgive it. That doesn't mean that you guys are going to go back. If you're separated because it's been abusive, physical or verbal abuse, you stay away. The reconciliation part is a two-way discussion where you make. I'll give you an example. I'll give you probably the easiest example is going back to God and us. We are, before we were saved, we are at enmity. We're separated from God. We're dead, right? God is the one that's wronged. God is the one that gets to choose how reconciliation occurs. So here's how this walks in. If I say, well, God, reconciliation for me is when I'm going to do work and I'm going to help people and I'm going to build a hospital and have my name on the side of it, of course. And I'm gonna go help the poor here, and I'm gonna go feed the multitudes there. And what it is you are deciding what reconciliation looks like, not God. And God says, I'm the one that's wronged. I'm the one that determines what reconciliation looks like. And His reconciliation looks like dying on the cross for my sins, me humbly asking Him. Pride gets me to say, here's what I'll do. Humility says I can't do it, and give it to Him. So that's kind of the example of when you've got a couple or whatever, and they're dealing with this, and the husband says, again, using that as an example, well, I just won't do this anymore. I won't do that. Well, the wife may say, no, you need to go to anger management, or you need to go do this and do that. And that's negotiated. Normally, you got to stick to it. But so for the ones that's out there and you're thinking, well, if I forgive them, then I've got to just, go back to that old mess. That is not what forgiveness is. Forgiveness opens the door to reconciliation, but the other person may not want to reconcile. Someone may, someone at work or something, and they, cussed you out or, messed you up so you couldn't get a promotion or whatever. And you say, well, I forgive them. And you go to them and you go, how can we work this out? I don't want to work it out. If it was me, I'd fire you. They don't want to reconcile, right? But you can still forgive.
Right.
You can still forgive on that. Because it's baggage you carry. Right?
Absolutely. It's baggage you carry, and it takes up so much of your time, thought. I mean, it takes up it takes up so much more energy to be angry at somebody or to be mean to them, or to me it seems like that takes up so much time. And then the time, the space you take up in my brain, and they probably don't even think twice or even look at you or don't even know what's going on, what you feel you're keeping there, because I won't forgive and I keep thinking about it. I just want them to fall off a cliff or whatever, all these things, right? And it's like, God, all that energy that's being spent on
Yeah.
doing that.
There's something that they talk about in the political saying. It says, he's living rent free in your head, right? Or she's living rent free in your head.
Yeah,
And,
rent free because you ain't getting nothing out of it.
You get nothing
Like,
out
what
of
the
it.
heck?
Nothing out of it.
Nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
No questions?
No.
Everybody's
No.
good.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I'm
Nobody
the
has
only
a
one that
forgiveness.
struggled with forgiveness, huh?
Yeah.
I guess.
She threw that back at you real quick, didn't
Yeah,
she?
I guess so.
Oh, yeah, yep, you do.
Yep, guess so.
Oh,
Well,
goodness.
You haven't lived as long as I have, so just wait.
Man. Oh, man. Yeah, you talk about living long. I just got on today and got signed up for Medicare.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
lose it in 2 days. 3 days? 2 days. 2 days.
3 days.
Yeah,
Monday.
Monday I'm out. So, yep, I'm
Happy early birthday.
no insurance. Yeah.
Happy
get-
early birthday. You're a senior citizen on Medicare.
Yep. No, you know what? You laugh, but when you're young, you watch all those commercials on the TV, and they talk about here's this plan, and you can get that plan, and Aetna, and United Healthcare, and Humana, and da da da. You listen to all that stuff, and you don't even pay attention. Yeah, it's time. But when you get older, you start going, now what plan was
What did
that?
they say? Yeah.
Why did they do that? Now what is that?
Hey, I'm already getting the AARP commercial advertisements and stuff. I'm like, I am not that old yet. I'm getting closer, but I guess like you said.
What I think happened? I think what happened maybe a long time ago. I think Laura joined AARP. I think she's a member of a club that I'm not part of. She may not have. She may not have. And if
didn't
you're
want
watching
you.
right now, it's okay if you did. You never have to go to any meetings. That's okay. But it's yeah. Golly, goodness gracious. So this is a big subject, and those of you that are on that are part of our TBC family, we want to invite you. If you have, it always comes back up, and no matter how often we talk about it, it always comes back up by somebody when we're talking about, teaching a passage, and they go, well, here they forgave, and it just comes back up, and it comes back up because it's something we have to keep doing over and over and over, and sometimes the same people over and over and over, because they don't change, but we forgive, and they keep doing the thing, and it drives you crazy.
Yeah, how many times do I do things over and over that drives God crazy?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
That He had to keep forgiving me for. I'm like,
One thing I think about is like, I wonder if there's something that I do that drives someone else crazy, because majority of people who are doing those things don't
Get her pen and
realize
some
it.
paper.
Hey.
now we're getting the calls. We're about out of time now.
Ring,
No,
ring.
I'm just kidding.
We got a question. No, it wasn't a question. It's a comment.
Oh, we did. Oh.
Who's Nyla 1357?
I wonder.
We did get a comment. It says one of the hardest things to do in our lives. It's talking about forgiveness.
Oh,
Oh.
absolutely.
It is
Yep.
one of the hardest things.
But I think you mentioned this earlier. Forgiveness. That forgiveness and what you talked about with justice. It's hard to forgive because we want justice to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Justice is one of those indicators that there's something in us beyond this world,
Mm-hmm.
right? There's that sense of justice because God put that in us, right? And so, just an interesting thing to consider is now someone else on there going, I don't have a problem.
No, now they're listing all the problems
Yeah.
that she does.
I just made yeah.
Someone just said they had a list.
But like, yeah, I have a
For
list
you
I'll
or
give
for
you for
me? For
Kyla.
you?
me.
Kyla.
Yeah.
Where's my
Was
mom?
that? Oh, is your mom? Oh, yeah.
Says, yeah, we'll work on that list later.
Yeah. I mean, I've got a list of a bunch of homeless people that are mad at me now for what I said at the beginning of this. So.
Yeah, I feel like if anybody ever has any questions, even when we're off the air, right? If someone comes up, they can bring it up for next time, and
Oh, you
maybe
bet.
we can answer questions.
You bet.
Yep, or y'all can always go on our Facebook page. It's always open for questions.
Yeah, anytime. So
Yep.
can always answer.
I think we're in wrap-up mode, aren't we?
Cool.
Yep.
So, well, let's see. I'm guessing that Felipe is in his suit and tie,
What?
Probably still wearing his sandals though.
Yeah.
And you're going to eat
And
at
his
some
suit
fancy
is
restaurant.
some shorts. It's the short suit. Have
Oh,
you seen
Oh,
that?
no.
Where the pants are
He
shorts.
would wear that.
Yep.
With
Yeah,
his,
maybe
with his,
so.
With his chunkless.
Maybe so.
Yep.
I don't think so. I think Christy would whack him
His
in the
hair's
back of the
probably
head.
all-
Yeah. If all of his hair's gone forward, it's because she's been whacking him in the back of the head. But congratulations again, Christy and Felipe, for 11 years. 11 years. Great job. And like Cammie said, a lifetime yet to go. So we're done here for tonight. Like you said, if you have questions, you can put it on our Facebook page. We've got Instagram. Can you do
Yes.
it on Instagram and
TikTok.
TikTok? Put them out there, the questions. We'd be more than happy to try to answer the questions for you. And in the meantime, there is 4 in, you're out. We will see you